asked about my name, and he blessed him there. So Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. Just as he crossed over Peniel, the sun rose on him, and he limped on his hip. I'm going to stop right there. My topic is broken but blessed. Subtopic, help. Help. See, something in our lives took place that we was tired and wanted Jesus. At a time in our life, we knew of God but didn't pay much attention to God. A severe crisis has a way of turning you to Him. It's something we done went through that turned us to God. Amen. We realize that unless God comes through, you are not going to make it. And so we cry out, oh God, help me. Help me. Jacob was alone and knew he had to meet his brother Esau. So he was crying out to God. Remember, God told him to go back to his family. I will deal well with him. Let me tell you a little bit about Jacob. When you read the story, you read that Jacob was a deceiver. He stole the birthrights of his brother. He fooled his dad. His dad was blind. And the mom sent Jacob to Laban, her brother. Jacob went through so much. He wanted one wife, and Laban wanted him to work for him. When he did up his time, then he couldn't get that wife. Then he had to work some more. So Jacob was going through so much. Even though he deceived his brother, he went out there and was going through. Don't you know that what you did to somebody and you try to run away and go somewhere else, it's going to happen. Just like when we in ministry, we leave one ministry and go to another one, thinking that it's not going to happen. But the true you will come out. Amen. Maybe a health problem, unless God intervenes, there is no hope. Perhaps it's a serious family problem or financial problem. This is why you came to God, or a desperate need of work. It may be a personal problem such as loneliness, guilt, anger, bitterness, anxiety. It could be some life-denominating sins such as alcohol. Is that what got us to God? Drugs, pornography, gambling. What is it? What got us to God? But whatever the problem, you know that you need God and you're calling on Him for help. Amen. See, Jacob faced the kind of crisis. He was returning to Canaan in obedience to God. But that meant he had to face his brother Esau, the one that he did wrong to. A lot of times we do wrong to people and we feel like we're not going to be able to face them no more. But God got a way of sending us back again. What we done somebody wrong. God got a way of sending us back.
That's right.
Amen. But that meant he had to face his brother Esau, who had cheated 20 years before. Jacob didn't know how Esau would receive him. When Jacob's message came back and said that Esau was coming to meet him with 40 men, Jacob became fearful. Esau could easily wipe out everything that was valuable to Jacob. He had 400 men, remember y'all, including Jacob, and he prayed, oh God, deliver me from Esau. How many times we done ask God to deliver us from something? Yes. Even when we done wrong, we still asking God to deliver us from something. Don't you know God will send you back where you messed up? And He will also allow your nakedness to start showing. He will show you for who you really are. A lot of times people do stuff and sweep it under the rug, but God got a way to uncover. Isaiah 55:8 said his ways are not our ways. Y'all, I'm still shook up here. His plan had been that if Esau attacked one camp, Jacob in the other camp, the other would escape. Now, Jacob when he went to meet Esau, Jacob divided his family. So he sent one side of them ahead and he kept one side. It's a lot of times that when we want to get free, we want to still hold on to some stuff.
That's right.
We don't want to let go. We trust in ourselves. We don't want to always give it to God a whole 100%. We just hold on to it. Amen. Jacob was still trying to have his self-dependence, holding on to his power and his authority. We forever holding on to our power and our authority, and leaving God out of what we want to leave him out of. And then when we really need him, then we cry, help. Amen. Maybe I will survive if I give a little. That's what we say. We'll survive if we just get a little bit of it to him. Not all of it. How many of us are like that? I'll do a little bit, but God got to do the rest. Is that our attitude? We don't want to give him all of it. So God has to break us out of that thing called self-dependence. So that we can lean totally on him. Our problem, like Jacob, is that too often we want to use God and his blessing to further our own ends. We want to use them up. We go to him when we need him. All of his life, Jacob had been using God and people to get what he wanted for himself. He stole his brother's birthright. But now God brings Jacob to see that you don't use God. You submit to him. That's right. A lot of times people have that using spirit and don't want to submit. When we submit to God, he blesses us.
That's right.
God must break us of our self-dependence, relying on our own strength. A lot of times we rely on our own strength. When he tells us to do something, we think we have the authority, the strength, the power, and he nowhere to be found until we need him. Amen. Brokenness is a good thing. Before God can use us, he has to break us. Because we all have a built part in us that trusts in ourselves. After Jacob divided his family and flock and sent gifts ahead, Jacob tried to rest, but he was worried about Esau. Sitting in the desert, a hand grabbed Jacob. Jacob was scared to death, jumped in a rage. He was ready. He thought it was a bandit coming to rob him. What you're trying to do is rob me? Jacob began to wrestle with the man. He struggled for his life. Imagine you in that position, scared of what someone going to do to you. You're already going through something. Then something grabbed you. You just sit there in the dark and somebody grabbed you. What you going to do? You going to go all in, right? Like Jacob, we're going to give our best shot. Jacob was wrestling with God. Jacob wasn't laying hold to God. God was holding on to Jacob to gain something from him, to bring Jacob to the end of self-trust. This is what God was trying to do and what God is trying to get out of us. A problem we have, God will always allow us to throw things to let us know we need him. We need to trust him totally. He'll let us go through some stuff to let us know that we need him. He said, trust him. He is a stronghold. Psalm 18:2. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. My God, my strength, in whom will I trust? My buckler and my horn of my salvation and my high tower. Psalm 91:2. I will say to the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress and my God. In him will I trust. So often when we come in on Sunday, we didn't read the deliverance prayer. But we quote, Lord, I want to live for you.
That's right.
That's right. How real are you when you say I want to live for you?
You better say it. You better say it.
Jacob had thought that Esau and Laban was his adversities. He had struggled and schemed to get the blessings he thought these men were taking from him. Blessing that God had promised to give him anyway. But now at some point in the struggle, Jacob has his own adversity. We are our worst enemy.
Yes, Lord.
We are. But God had to wrestle him into submission to reveal this to him. We can be our worst enemy, blame everything on everybody else, but can't look in the mirror and see who's doing who to what.
Yes.
Amen.
The problem is self. Have you ever asked God to take care of self problems? The flesh, the sinful ways, my selfishness ways, my mistrust in God, but what trust totally on me? Amen. Have we asked God to forgive us for that? Amen. We ask God to take care of that. God has to reveal to us the power of our flesh in order to be delivered from it.
Amen. Yes.
I'm going to say that again. God has to reveal to us the power of our flesh in order to be delivered from it. Amen. Jacob and God wrestled to dawn. God could have took Jacob out before dawn, but God held on to Jacob. Amen. God touched Jacob's hip. Jacob felt this excruciating pain in his hip. When God crippled us, what kind of pain do you feel? What do you do when he crippled us? Oh, it's quiet. God will allow you to hang yourself. He will allow you to go through sometimes till you just get tired. He right there with us. But he'll hold on us until we surrender. Amen. Till we get tired. Amen. And then when we get tired, we'll go ahead and surrender.
Right.
That's all he waiting on, y'all.
Yeah.
God wanted to show Jacob the power of his self-will. He trusted himself. If you ever wrestle, you know the exaltation in a wrestle match. You know the strength in a wrestling match. Somebody got to give. And 2 minutes is not enough. But Jacob kept on at it all night. The Lord kept waiting to see if Jacob would surrender, but he kept on fighting. That's like us. God be waiting on us to surrender, but we just keep on fighting. We just keep on doing things we're big enough to do. Yeah. We come in the house and do one thing and go back out, like Pastor said. We got to live outside the church.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's right.
When we come in the house, we act like we done surrender, and we go right back out there doing the same thing.
Same thing.
No, we serve a good God. He still got his hands on us when
That's
we're
right.
in here or
That's
out
right.
there.
Yes, yes.
Notice God did not cripple Jacob until he would not yield. Jacob was fighting up something. He was going through some stuff.
Yes, God.
God will soon cripple us if we will not yield. He will allow the things to come upon our life so we will surrender. Only God can tame the flesh. We can't tame it.
That's right. Amen.
The word said in James, we can't tame our mouth. That little thing in our mouth is something else.
Mm-hmm.
It'll set a forest on fire.
Mm-hmm.
That little pink thing in our mouth, we can't tame it.
Okay.
Only God can. Some of us are carrying some stuff that we refuse to give up.
Right.
We wrestling with God. And they're going to take God to cripple us. For us to go through some stuff. For us to give up. For us to surrender. And it's sad that we got to go through the stuff to get help.
That's right.
God will allow you to carry that thing until you get just totally tired. Have you ever been in something and you just say, Lord, I'm just tired. I need some help. I'm tired. And then soon as everything is all right, you're comfortable, you go back at it again.
Mm-hmm.
Then you say, Lord, I'm tired. Is you really tired? When the Lord crippled him, he could have angrily shouted, "Now, look what you've done. I got to face my angry brother. He was worried about his brother. And you crippled me so that I can't fight or run." God was doing some things in Jacob's life before he got to his brother.
Right.
When God sent us back to that situation, he do things in our life. Just like today.
Amen.
He allows us to get free.
Yes.
Jacob could have grown bitter, not better, but he didn't. Instead, when the Lord said, "Let me go, for the dawn is breaking," Jacob clinged to him and gave that marvelous reply, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." God blesses us as we cling to him in our brokenness.
Amen.
Often our victories come out of the ashes of the greatest defeat.
Yes.
As soon as Jacob was crippled, he was able to hang on to the Lord for dear life.
Yes.
We knew now that if God didn't bless him, he had no hope. He couldn't trust in himself any longer because he was crippled. He had to cling to the Lord, and in clinging to the Lord in brokenness, Jacob received a blessing he had been scheming to get all his life. And when I talk about crippling, I'm talking about a situation that you need God for. A lot of times I use for myself, I wanted to just run and do what I want to do and just drink and, and fight and a lot of hatred in my heart. But that was sending me down the wrong path.
Yes, it was.
And then when I wound up in the holding cell, I said, "Lord, if you get me out of here, I ain't gonna do it no more." But when I got out, I still did what I wanted to do. Got in some more stuff. "Lord, if you get me out of this, then I won't do that no more." How many of us that is?
Amen.
But soon when you get tired, sure enough tired, then you'll stop.
Yes.
Our crippleness can be a sickness.
Uh-huh.
We done ate, we done abused our body, blood pressure high, sugar. Lord, if you get this down, I won't eat that cake no more. I won't eat that pork. And soon you go to the doctor, blood pressure down, doing good. You go right on out and get that piece of meat or a piece of cake. I'm guilty. I go to the doctor, they say, "Oh, you done lost some weight." I said, "All right, I lost a couple pounds. I can go and get me this sandwich." It ain't gonna do nothing. I done been to the doctor.
Yep.
He'll use things in our lives to cripple us, that we may come back to him, that we may hold on to him and won't let him go. Amen. We won't cling to the Lord until we're broken. That's sad. But that's the truth. That's how he mold and shape us. When we're broken, we can't come to him perfect. If we do what we need God for, he the only perfect one.
That's right. Amen. Amen. Yes.
Jacob finally calms down and say, "I will not let you go until you bless me." That's how we should be. "Lord, I got this problem, but I can't let you go. I done tried this thing for a long time and I'm tired." It's good that God hold on us when we are still in our mess.
Yes.
He continue to keep us when we are still in our mess. He hold on to us. "Lord, I got to hold on. Without you, I can't do anything." We can't do anything. If God let us go, we going to be some pitiful folk. Without him, we're lost. I try to give up the sinful desires myself, but I am tired. I give them to you, then take them back. Like I said earlier, we give them what we want to give them.
Right.
We surrender when we want to surrender.
That's right. Yes.
We wrestling. I felt like I could do this on my own, but the Lord I kept messing up. "Lord, I know your ways are not my ways, but help me today." That's what I'm saying. Help me. Because there's some things going on in my life I need to give to him totally.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I can use for my past with my husband. I had to give that over to the Lord. Because I was a mean something. I was mean. And I'm surprised he didn't just drop me somewhere.
Yeah, right.
I cried, Lord, help me. Help me.
Yeah.
But before I asked God to help me, before I surrender, I was always saying that it was his fault that things were going on. I had the mouth.
That's good.
I didn't want to do right. When he didn't want to do right, I said, I'm not going to do right. If he didn't want to pay a bill, I said, I'm not going to pay one. That was me, that attitude, hateful.
Yeah.
Then I had the nerve to say, I ain't ashamed. I don't need no man. Oh my God, what did I say that for? And the Lord allowed some things to take place. He allowed my husband had 2 heart attacks.
Mm-hmm.
A year behind each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that last one took him out of here, but God brought him back.
Mm-hmm.
And God had me to go home one night. He was in the hospital. And in my driveway, I said, Lord, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready to be a widow.
Mm-hmm.
I had to start repenting and ask God to help me. Heal him. I need my husband.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
So we got to be careful what we say.
That's right. That's right.
Very careful, because God will put you through the test.
Sure will.
I don't need. I don't want. I'm going to do what I want to do.
Amen.
He will start allowing things to happen to you. We got to be very careful.
Yeah.
We say Sunday after Sunday, Lord, I want to live for you. Do we really want to live for God?
Yes.
It's easy said than done sometimes, ain't it?
Yes.
Time we go through a battle, ooh, I can't do this no more.
Right.
But we want to live for Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He said, if I suffer, if you reign with me, you're going to suffer. If you suffer, you're going to reign
Mm-hmm.
with me. A lot of times we don't want to go through nothing.
Yes, Lord. Good.
But we want to live for Christ.
Amen. Yes, Lord.
We want to repeat that Sunday after Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. And sing songs of glory.
Mm-hmm.
But do we truly, really, really
Believe.
want to live for God?
That's right.
Amen.
Amen.
Lord, obedience is not an option. It's our only reasonable course of action.
Amen. Amen. That's good. Amen.
We have to be obedient. When God talked to us, we have to be obedient. Like Pastor hit it this morning, he was saying that they are the leaders.
That's right.
When they say something, we got to be obedient. We just can't step out there and do what we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
They see the picture. They got the vision. We don't. We just see something that look nice, like he said
Mercedes.
that Mercedes Benz. It's beautiful. With a high payment
You got
and
that
a high
right.
maintenance.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Amen.
And we want to drive something those thousands of dollars and can't keep $10 in our pocket.
Mm-mm.
Amen. Preach.
Mm-hmm.
Or ladies want to buy a pocketbook that's $200 and can't keep $5 in it.
Honey, let me tell you, not me. That's right.
Yes. Amen. Michael Kors.
Mm-hmm. And I can't go so far to say buying hair
Oh,
and
Lord.
can't pay a bill.
Oh, Lord. Help the weed, Lord. Because I'll buy hair in a minute.
But we want to live for him. Amen.
Right.
That was funny.
It was.
When we live for God, we got a testimony. Just like I told my testimony. We have a testimony. When we done wrestle with God and we surrender and we come to God and we give all, not half of it, we give all to Him. We can come and we can say in 2 Corinthians 4, 8 and 9, we can come and tell, I can come and tell LaConya, I call her my sister, I can come and tell her that I was troubled on every side. But God kept me. I had my hands on, He had His hands on me.
Mm-hmm.
I will not let you go, God, till you bless me. Any way you bless me, Lord, I'll be satisfied. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell somebody that I was perplexed, puzzled, thoughts all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I can say that.
Yes.
Frederica, I can say that, confused about everything, but not in despair.
Yes.
God had His hands on me.
Mm-hmm.
Amen. I can say I was prosecuted. Miss Vita, harassed, treated wrong, talked about, dragged through the mud, lied on. But God had His hands on me. He didn't let me go. And I will not let Him go. He will never leave me nor forsake me. He's always with us. We just got to give Him 100%. In the doors and out the doors. Amen.
Amen.
Cast down. Try to destroy someone's character.
Mm.
Yes, Lord.
Amen.
We can go there sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Get to talking.
Uh-huh.
And then next thing you know, you tearing somebody down.
That's right.
Instead of building them up.
Mm-hmm.
All these things, but I'm not destroyed. I can tell somebody my testimony that I'm not destroyed. I'm still standing. Because I asked God for help. Amen.
Amen.
And that's all I got for you.
All right.